But guys, I hope you're ready. Buckle the fuck up. Type 2 in the chat, because you're definitely going to want a little bit of something to have for this one, guys, because this is a big story, guys. The outrage was swift and massive, but Twitch has decided to start using generative AI to train models for their website. That is right. Twitch now uses your channel to train generative AI by default, guys. Go ahead, get your booze out. Get your booze out, guys.
This guy stinks.
Yeah, get your booze out, guys. What's up, Gordy? How are you? How are you doing, bro? Yeah, with all the recent news, how you doing, bro? That is right. Huge boom. Of course, allows your channel content to train generative AI content models at Amazon. If you don't know this, Amazon is umbrella above Twitch, right? So, I mean, it's kind of important to keep in mind. However, guys, what's really shitty about this is you don't start opting out, right? Twitch isn't making the Gen AI training opt-in because no one would voluntarily choose to opt in, right? They said offering an opt-out. So they literally know, guys, that nobody would really want to opt into this. So they're by default opting you into it, and you have to choose to opt out. Take a look.
Service already permit training of models. We went the extra step to add the controls to let you opt out. We know many of you will opt out, and that is completely by design. Now, why is it not opt-in? That's what
because
everybody is here spamming in chat. I get it. Let me opt in versus making me opt out. Well, there's an honest answer, and I think most of you probably can appreciate this. Like, if it was opt-in, nobody would opt in. That's honestly the answer.
Bro, they know. They know. They're like, yeah, nobody would opt in. Yes, because nobody wants it. Bro. Now, guys, I do want to say this really quickly. I do want you to offer a little bit of grace to these two, and I'm going to tell you why. I know you can put the pitchforks at half. You don't put them all the way up. Put them halfway up, because there's something you need to consider about this, right? I'm going to share with you, but just, yeah, exactly. Why would you make it in? But bear with me, guys. I know that you want to put the pitchforks up, but hear me out, okay? Let's finish the clip, and I'll tell you why.
So by it's going to be on by default, and as I said, almost every content service in the world is on by default. I think the thing that we're doing here that is unique and different is respecting your wishes to opt out of model training. And I know this is not a fan favorite. I know it's very upsetting to the community, but this is where we are.
Yeah, we don't expect you.
Service already.
So, I mean, he says this is where we are, right? And I can tell you, I watched this whole fucking dumpster fire of a PR statement, guys. And to be honest, guys, I don't think this comes from Twitch. I think it comes from Amazon, right? So I'm looking here. Twitch updated its terms of service. It no longer stores or caches user content with an aim to improve or providing the Twitch services. It now exercises its license for Twitch and or its affiliates businesses instead of just monetizing the services. You can also see here, allow your channel content to train generative AI content models at Amazon. Guys, this is an Amazon thing. Amazon pushes down onto Twitch. They sound like they really are just like, I don't even know if they wanted it, right? But I think that they are the ones that sadly are having to deal with it, right? Yeah, curse you, Bezos, exactly. This is very much an issue of Bezos, right? It's not Twitch themselves. Yes, they are under Amazon, but this decision comes down from the top, right? Shannon says it's not a conspiracy. It's not fear-mongering. Amazon are stealing your faces, your voice, your art, logo, brand to make fake streamers.
This sounds like a man who was given no say. Agreed.
Right, exactly.
It's very likely that this was something done above their heads and they are forced,
by
contract or office politics, to support it.
Yep.
Cheers for you, Illara, giving an honest opinion.
Well, and I think a lot of people, again, want to go after the Twitch people, but like, honestly, guys, I think for some of us that have been in a professional background before, sometimes you have to carry out stuff in a business that you don't like. And sadly, that's just part of being a professional, right? In this case, they have jobs, right? And they want to sustain their livelihood. And I'm sure that they know it's not a popular opinion, right? It's dumb. They don't want it, right? You can see they say, we know this isn't popular. We know people would never opt into it, but this is what's coming down, the pipeline, right? But very important that what the OP says here, it says, what exactly does opting out cover? What doesn't it cover? Well, you opt out and decide to not let your channel content to train generative AI content models. Your streams, VODs, clips, stream chats, and pictures and text on your channel will not be used in future training of a model developed by Amazon, whose purpose is to generate or synthesize text, audio, images, or videos. So, guys, I want to make this very clear. For streamers that are opted into this, stream chats, you guys, if mine was on, mine is off, but mine was on, they would be using your information as a chatter to train their stuff. Which obviously, I mean, I have a problem with, right? I've turned it off on my channel, but as you can see, guys, looking at this, it does not seem like that this is coming from Twitch itself. It's being filtered down from Amazon. And of course, I think it's even more supported by this clip where Twitch themselves aren't even sure whether Amazon has used Twitch creator VODs prior to today to train its AI models. Everything is everything seems very quick. It seems very rushed. Nobody has any answers. I think it's very indicative of a company making a very blanket decision and saying, okay, you need to make a statement, put it out right away. You know what I mean?
Already been used for training.
In terms of, I don't actually know the answer to that question because I don't know what Amazon Amazon in this case has done in terms of model training and what they've used and not used.
Opting out removes your previously collected content from future training, and it makes make sure your content isn't used in future generative AI training. So I would.
So again, it's from August. When did this come out? August 12th. Let me double check. Yeah, August 12th. So on basically August 12th and forward now, it will not use that training. But anything before might be fair game. We just don't know. And again, this is why I feel like this is definitely Amazon, because they don't know anything. It feels very rushed. And they're just being put out to be fed to the wolves and deal with this, right? We'll talk about that as well. Actually, no, I'll get to it right now. Which I agree with Zach on this as well. I think it's very spineless that Dan Clancy stuck both of those poor people out there, right? He stuck Mike, Mary, and he threw him to the wolves. Guys, this should be something that Dan Clancy himself, the head of fucking Twitch, shares that message with everybody. I don't understand why, for some fucking reason, he threw this out to two random people. What do you mean they're not random? I guess that's too strong of a word, right? But this is your head of community and chief product officer. But nonetheless, this needs to come from Dan, right? He's at the top. He needs to be one to share that message and take the brunt of that. I'm sorry that's part of being a CEO. Like, sorry, but that goes on to say, I'm just going to say it's really spineless behavior that Dan Clancy wasn't a co-host. He made his entire run as CEO being front and center of every stream. When the toughest announcement yet comes, he throws Mary Kish under the bus. Very, very true. Very, very true. So, there are a lot of clips to look at that Taz was very kind in getting together. So, let's go take a look at this. But here was the one about the opting in. Here were the bots who didn't know about the scraping. They did not talk to ambassadors about this at all, right? About their opinions on Gen AI. And again, I don't think it would have mattered because Amazon said, you're doing this and that's it.
I'm going to answer. Watts asks, did Twitch ask the ambassadors and creators their thoughts prior to rolling this out? I can't speak to all creators, but I can speak to the ambassador program. I did not ask ambassadors their thoughts. We were pretty tight-lipped on what we were able to ask or provide. I did read through all of the user voice entries, and I am very aware of the current vibe and reaction from this community on
I doubt it, Gordy.
AI,
I doubt it.
period. And so I was able to utilize that. I'm sorry I couldn't invite the ambassadors for your reactions early. We really wanted to try and be able to release this after getting all of our communications approved and I'm going to answer.
Threw him to the wolves, guys. obviously, I mean, I don't feel like they're very happy about this decision either, but this is coming down from Bezos, right? Twitch official streams are opted out of training despite them being the one to make the feature in the first place. This is one of my favorite clips. Check this out, guys.
Yep. 8-Bit Dylan asks, will Twitch's official streams be opt-in or opt-out? I think we're gonna opt out.
The official Twitch streams are like,
8-Bit Dylan
yeah, we're gonna
asks,
opt
will
out.
Twitch-
Like, even they're like, nah, fuck this, bro. That's crazy. First task says Twitch doesn't know what happens when two creators stream together using different settings for training. Again, this goes into my ideology of it being rushed. This is crazy, actually. I think that that's very dangerous because, you know, hypothetically, you know, if I turn off the setting, right, and then I hang out with Gordy and he's like, oh, my name's Gordy, I'm a pumpkin head and I love generative AI. I mean, and then he wants to, you know, train the models. I'd be like, oh my God, Gordy, how could you do this to me in my chat? And he'd be like, haha, you suck, Alara. I hate your dumb face. And I'd be like, oh my God, Gordy, wow, I can't believe you would do this to me. Crazy, guys. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy that you could see this situation where this could be very problematic for two creators where one is like, I don't want to train any generative AI, and the other one is like, oh, hell no, bro. What the fuck? By the way, I'm kidding. Gordy doesn't like generative AI. Just to be clear, Gordy's really cool and does not like generative AI. Yeah. The only thing here is that, hey, Laura, exactly. Oh my God.
Squishy asks, what happens if a creator who opted out is collabing with a creator that opted in for a
I
stream
mean, this is
together
very
session?
problematic, guys. Very problematic.
It's a good question.
Stream together session.
So
That's a
if
good
you were
question.
opted in and I
Yeah.
was opted out and we streamed together, what would happen?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good
Anything
question.
you show on stream, guys.
We should,
Your
what
model,
we should do
your
there
art.
is respect the,
All of it. All of it, guys. Your model, your art, all of that can be used. That's crazy. And that, of course, was the end of the thread. Thank you, Taz, for putting that together. That was very helpful because I was trying to like clip my own stuff, and that's on Taz put this out. I'm like, oh, thank God! Like this helps so much. Such a game changer, honestly. So of course, guys. In light of this, before we continue, how well do you think this went over? On a scale of 1 to 10, like how well do you think all of this just went over with the community? What's your thoughts, guys? Yeah, do you think it went well? Do you think it was bad? Do you think it was good? Well, let's go take a look here at some of the comments. Here we go. UMVP for getting this heads up. Yeah, fuck this shit, like my lord. Thank you for helping get the word out. I disabled this and keep warning others. Thank you. I see Sylvie says it's really annoying about this. You can only opt out on the website. It's not available on the app yet. I had no idea. The quotes are a lot more brutal. My viewers have turned this off, left settings, gone back to settings, and it was auto back on again, by the way. I want to double check that, guys. Of course, Bear the Witch says train this. This is my favorite response. Oh, yeah. You know, even Friendly, just like talking about revenue split, you know, doesn't use your content to train AI. People are saying, here's how you toggle it off. Here's the setting. Straight jorking it. Sayu says, turn it off and you should too. Cause Twitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? Amelie says, I'm so tired of this. Grandpa very appropriately says this.
The fuck is this? What the fuck is this right?
I agree, Ray. What the fuck is this? I, for one, can't wait to find out 3 months from now that everybody who opted out was in some way punished for doing so. I mean, we'll see. But Pup says, still this day, I refuse to use the art category because of their church's self-awareness and making the art thumbnail AI. I see, obviously, they still have not changed over the years of protests. Love the world we live in right now. Yeah, this was a very swift and massive backlash, guys. On top of this, guys, TwitchCon sales are in the gutter. Realistically, it's probably maybe 30% of people have it on willingly, sadly. Right. Exactly. It sucks. And the people at the top are just like, well, we'll just leave it. Of course, Sack says TwitchCon sales were horrific before yesterday's announcement. About 50% lower than the first 14 days of sales last year. It'll be interesting to see what people do now. Well, obviously, it's probably not going to be much better, right? That goes on to say, of course, Twitch is at an uphill battle. Regarding TwitchCon, the prices are absurdly high for the value you get. from attending, which is mostly, again, a social value. Cost of travel hotels has dramatically increased, and the reputational damage from previous years, like Emer's assault, the IRL nuisance streamers, doesn't help. Twitch is attempting to mitigate that by making it all ages event. So having children there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday family day may help for last minute local attendees. But they're gonna have to start doing some kind of crazy promotion where everybody gets an expensive Minecraft cape, or to give out tickets to partners to attend or something. Partner purchase tickets appear to be down 66% versus the first 2 weeks last year. Nobody wants to go, dude. It's dangerous. It's not fun. Emery getting assaulted was a huge, just people wanting to step away. I would not want to go to TwitchCon. Who would want to go to TwitchCon? I mean, dude, just go, like, if you're a VTuber, literally go to Offguy. It's 1,000 times better. But to add to this, guys, Amazon stocks themselves actually fell. That is right, guys. Amazon stocks went down about 1%. Currently, they're at minus about 0.5%, but they declined around 1% on Thursday as attention turned to a privacy dispute involving Twitch. Involving Twitch and the use of creator content for artificial intelligence development. So again, Amazon stock literally fell because of this, guys. Anybody arguing that's like, oh, generative AI is okay, you know, you can't say it's not what the people want. No, I'm sorry. Literally, Amazon stock fucking fell. People do not want this. There's kind of also been Aegis in it. Right, yeah. Which I didn't know, Wog. But Amazon, of course, losing out on money on this. So the backlash was very intense, guys. And people spoke with their money, right? Now, of course, people are fighting back a bit with their tags. Over on Twitch, you see people like adding tags like AI opted out. Do their content tags help indicate the audience they have it toggled off. Twitch CPO Mikey Minty was asked about an opted in out indicator yesterday and said they had no plans to implement one for viewers. So, no one in AI, let me correct, no one with common sense wanted it. Only two voice found it that people were more well behaved when the kids were around. Oh, absolutely. But one of the things to understand now, too, is like, with generative AI, like, you can be like, oh, I like making this stuff, and I think the art is cool, right? But if you don't look into the problems, right? Like, the environmental effects of it and what generative AI is causing, right? I think that you're really not educating yourself properly, right? Like, I can get the appeal, right, of being able to make anything without having a skill. I can understand that, guys, but there's a moral obligation to want to protect our environment, right? And if you look at the effects of what data centers, what all of these things have done, it's god-awful, guys. And for anybody that says, well, the environment was fucked already, well, why do we need to fuck it up more? Like, that's not an argument. Stocks for all AI companies are tanking. None of them are making profit. Yeah. Just again, what was the intrinsic value of generative AI other than the fact that you could, just make something that you couldn't before and it's cheaper? Well, now it's really kind of not cheaper if you think about it, because the look of generative AI is cheap, and most people don't want that association with their branding, right? They don't want cheap branding. So imagine if like fucking like, I don't know, Vera Bradley or somebody used, a generative AI. Imagine if Ferrari used generative AI, right? Luxury brands, insert XYZ brand, right? Nobody wants to be associated with that cheap look. And that's what we're kind of seeing with a lot of people not wanting to utilize it. It's at a very low level of usage, right? With somebody, right, exactly. Yeah, with resource money, I mean, the list goes on. Wild stuff. So, chat, yes, no, that's why I said that the other day, Tuxedo. I'm like, it's exactly like the dot-com bubble. I was watching a video about it. I'm like, what's a dot-com bubble? And then I learned, I'm like, oh my God, this is literally the dot-com bubble, like all over again. The chat, before we move on, how do you feel about this? What's your thoughts about it? Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's dumb? Do you think it's bad? Do you think it's great? I mean, I kind of hope you think it's bad, but yeah, what's your thoughts about this, chat? By the way, mods, maybe with 15 minutes left on the timer, we make an announcement. Guys, we have 27 minutes left on the timer. Remember, the last person to sub or gift a sub is going to win $1,000, guys. $1,000. I think we're going to find out opting out was a placebo in a year or so. Maybe so. I don't know. It's a Force BS update, right? Again, it just comes out from Amazon, and that sucks really bad. That sucks really bad. I do feel a little
It's
bit
dumb.
for Twitch staff.
We did not ask for this. Please, for
Right.
the love of everything, remove it at once.
I do feel bad for Twitch staff because they're gonna be they're taking the brunt of a lot of that stuff. And I do feel for them in a way because they're trying to just uphold their own like quality of life and do their job. But obviously, with a very controversial decision like that, it does need to be acknowledged that Dane Clancy threw them under the bus. You know what I mean? And I feel like that was awful.